Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, I want to share with you an account recorded in Luke about, I'm calling it One Day with Jesus. One Day with Jesus. Here's what happens. It's in Luke, the 8th chapter, and I'm going to make a few comments as I read this account to you and draw some conclusions there at the end. One day, he got into a boat with his disciples and said to them, "Let's go across to the other side of the lake." So they set out, and as they sailed, he fell asleep. You guys can relate to that. And a storm and a wind came up on the lake, and they were filling with water and were in danger. And they went and woke him, saying, "Master, Master, we're perishing." And he woke and rebuked the wind and the raging waves, and they ceased, and there was a calm. And he said to them, "Where is your faith?" And they were afraid, and they marveled at the saying one another, "Who is this that he can command even the wind and the water, and they'll obey him?" One observation real quick. They're in this ship, and it's starting to toss and having a problem and gaining on the water and everything. And they went and woke Jesus up and said, "Man, don't you care? We're going to go down here." And he woke up and said, "Hey, talk to the wind and the waves, don't knock it off." And it was all calm. And then the scripture says, and they were afraid then. They weren't afraid so much when they were fixing to perish. I'm sure they were afraid. The Bible doesn't record that they were afraid. But when Jesus did his thing, they looked at each other and they were afraid and said, "Man, who's this guy? That even the winds and the waves will obey him." Well, the neat thing about this is they arrived on the other side of the lake at the country of the Gerasenes, which is opposite Galilee where they went. And he's stepped out on land. And there met him a man from the city who had demons. For a long time he had worn no clothes, and he lived not in a house, but among the tombs. And when he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell before him and said with a loud voice, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beseech you, do not torment me." Now this is a demon talking that was inside this guy. He said, "What do you have to do with me? Don't torment me." For Jesus had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of him. For many times he had received, he had been seized and was kept under guard and bound with chains and fetters, but he broke the bonds and was driven off by the demons into the desert. But Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" Talking to the demons again, or still. Said, "What is your name?" And he said, "Legion," for many demons had entered him. And they begged him not to command them to depart into the abyss. Now, I'm not going to tell you what the abyss is. It's kind of a study by itself, but these demons didn't want to go into the abyss. Now, how many demons were they, reckon? Well, it says my name is Legion because there's lots of them. Now, in Rome, the legion was anywhere between 4,000 and 6,000 troops. Whoa. So if this guy had that many demons in him, that's quite a few demons. And later we're going to see where what happened to him. But I wanted to tell you about another time that some sons of the high priest, there were 7 of them, excuse me, and they were going to cast out these demons because they'd seen Paul do it. And so they said, "Okay, you demons," he said, "I command you to come out of him in the name of this Jesus person that Paul preaches about," which kind of sounds like a funny thing, but that's what they said. And the scripture records this. It said, and the demons asked these sons of the high priest, they said, "Well, we know who Jesus is, and we know who Paul is, but we don't know who you are. Who are you to command us to come out like that?" So the man that was possessed with the demon jumped out on top of these 7 men and beat them. And they left the house beat up and naked. And so that's what one demon did. Now this guy has got legion. His name is Legion because he has evidently thousands of demons that are possessing him. So anyway, and so they're asking Jesus, don't send us into the abyss, but to have mercy on us like. And so he said, and they begged him not to command them to depart into the abyss. Now a large herd of swine was feeding on the hillside, and they begged him to let them enter into all these pigs. So he gave them leave. Then the demons came out of the man and entered into the swine, and the herd rushed down the steep hill into the lake and were drowned. Now, I think it's Matthew records the same thing here. It says about 2,000 pigs. Whoa, 2,000 pigs. I don't know how many demons there were. but they possessed these 2,000 pigs and ran into the lake and were drowned. And when the herdsmen saw what had happened, they fled and told it into the city and told it in the city and in the country. And people went out to see what had happened. And they came to Jesus and found the man whom the demons had gone in, sitting down at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. Once again, not afraid of things around so much like the people in the boat. They were afraid of this power that Jesus had and over things like this. And so they were afraid. And those who had seen it told him how he had been possessed with demons and was healed. And all the people of the surrounding country asked him to get out of here, for they were seized with great fear. So he got into the boat and returned. And the man from whom the demons had gone out begged that he might go with Jesus. But he sent him away, saying, "Return to your home and declare how much God has done for you." And he went away, preaching throughout the whole city how much Jesus had done for him. So this is kind of a unique situation that they're all involved with. And when I first started, I talked about we're going to go one day in the life of Jesus. First thing in the morning, it looks like they get into this boat and go across the Sea of Galilee over to this area, and they do this event, or Jesus kicks out all these demons over there, and they run into the swine, and then the record says he left and came back home. It's like, sometimes you see Jesus doing things on the way, and he was on his way to Jerusalem, and he saw this guy that didn't have, any sight, so he healed, whatever. But this is not that situation. Jesus said, let's get in this boat and go over to the other side. We're on the other side, and this is what happened. As soon as it happened, he gets in his boat and comes right back over. Of course, the people asked him not to stay because of what he had done. Now, it just seems a little funny to me that it's like these people, if Jesus had that kind of power, couldn't they beg Jesus to bring those pigs back up or replace the pigs or something? I don't know. It's kind of like when Lazarus was raised from the dead. Jesus said, "Lazarus, come forth out of the grave there and live." So Lazarus came up and lived, and the people that saw it were trying to figure out a way to kill Lazarus. He had already been dead, and Jesus rose him brought him back from the dead. And it just seems funny to me that their mindset was like that. But the thing I want to encourage you about on this little event here is a lot of times when we're always hearing about the Great Commission. You guys know what the Great Commission is. Go into all the world, preach the gospel. And a lot of folks will go as far as to say, "Go ye" means go me. Go me into all the world. Well, it doesn't. I mean, that was given to the apostles to leave Jerusalem and go into the whole world preaching and spreading the word. Now, I've told you before that a lot of times, like the Old Testament, the things that were brought over to the New Testament, the new commands seem to be sometimes harder to deal with than the old ones. So if we just had a command to go overseas and preach the gospel, that'd be one thing. But that's not what our command is. Now, the apostles were commanded to do that. Our command is, as we're going along through our life, we're supposed to be a light to those around us and shine the light of Christ on them. And so this is a good example for this guy. This guy had been possessed with these thousands of demons for so long. And Jesus kicks him out, tells him, "Get out of here." And when they all leave and everything, Jesus is getting ready to go back because he's not welcome there. So this man comes up and talks to him. He says, "Hey, I want to go with you. I want to go with you and just stay with you all the whole time." And Jesus said, "No." He said, "I don't want you to go with me." He said, "I want you to return to your home and declare how much God has done for you." And he went away proclaiming throughout the whole city how much Jesus had done for him. Now, in some of the legends of that area, this account is in some of the legends in their culture. And there's 3 cities there that, along with the city he was from there, that talk about this and how he was spreading the word and talking about what Jesus had done for him on that whole land. So sometimes, we don't have this great order for us to get up out of our homes and go across seas. That's not what we're commanded to do. But yet, as Christians, we are supposed to be the light of the world and shine wherever we live and whatever occupation we're in, whatever school we're in. And we're supposed to spread the word of Jesus throughout those places. So I just wanted to show you that these people that approached Jesus through these times, it keeps talking about how afraid they were because of his powers and stuff. And we need to put more emphasis on the things that he did, so we become not fearful of him, but we fear him and we revere him for all his strength and everything, and to tell the world around us, our community that we live in, and those around us, what God has done for us. So that's a bit of a challenge for you. Keep in mind as you go, times you can, and places you can, people you can talk to, and don't shirk that responsibility, but just mention. Now, we're not anywhere commanded in Scripture to go out and convert people, to bring them into the church, to baptize them. We're not commanded to do those things. That's the work of the Spirit. But we are commanded to plant seeds and to spread the word and be like the sower in the parable, that we spread these seeds, and some of these seeds are going to fall on good soil. And there may be more expected of us after that, when people want to know more about the truth and things like that. But anyway, so be like the guy that had all the demons, and go into the country that you live in and spread the word about what Jesus has done for you. There you go. That's the end of that one. And hope you guys are doing well still. And anyway, I guess that's all I got to say about maybe we'll be together. See, I'm not going to say that. Anyway, so take care of yourself. Hope to see you guys soon, and behave yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.